Hello everybody, we are back with some news. It has been on the quiet side here in Iceland, but there are still many earthquakes, just not as big. In total, there were 2,000 earthquakes yesterday. There are more news on the magma dike, and there is still magma flowing into it from deep within the earth. More damage has been surfacing after the magnitude 5.4 earthquake that hit 2 days ago. There were roads in very close proximity to the earthquake's origins, so it of course caused more damage, because the closer you are to the origins of the earthquake, the stronger and more intense the shake is. And as in my previous episode, there were a lot of rock slides, but luckily no one was hurt. You can see here how it affected this cliff. As I said earlier, 2,000 earthquakes were detected yesterday, but all of them were on the smaller side, under 3. No earthquakes over 3 in size were detected tonight, but as for the recording of this video, there have been 4 earthquakes over 3 in magnitude, with the largest one being 3.4. That is a downgrade from the average 10 earthquakes over 3 in magnitude a day. But could this be the calm before the storm? Well, there was tension there that was released as expected. If there are other areas with such tension, the magma dike could have effects on it, but we have very few ways of knowing that. But we can speculate and look at old data, so let's look at the possible areas of an eruption. We are now looking at Nátthagi, one of the more likely candidates for an eruption to take place. Our experts have confirmed that the magma dike's southernmost point sits under here. It's also only around 1 kilometer underneath the surface here, and hasn't moved much in the past days, indicating that pressure is building up, which often leads to the magma breaking through the surface. But recently, the magma dike has been detected moving more to the north instead of to the south. You can see in these images that there's an increase in earthquakes a few kilometers up north of Nátthagi. That's a clear sign that it hit a hard point down south, so it's looking for another way where it's easy to flow through, as that's how the magma behaves. So there could be another place more likely for an eruption. This is how I believe the magma dike to lie under the surface today. It's roughly 8 kilometers long and with an average depth of 5 kilometers, but probably to many people's surprise, it's just 1 meter wide. There are these 2 points where a possible eruption could occur, and it's where the magma dike is the closest to the surface, around 1 kilometer. If it erupts here in Nátthagi Valley, we can imagine how the lava would flow. Since it's in a valley, it's going to flow in a straight line until it's out of the valley. You can see that there's a pretty sloped way straight towards the road, and it would most likely flow over it if it erupts there. Now, if it erupts in the other possible area, it would be much more likely to cause no damage to any human infrastructure. It's surrounded by mountains, so the landscape would almost have full control of the lava flow. It would most likely flow into the valleys south of the eruption. That would be fun, since it would be a very easy place to visit and take pictures. It's also possible that this will be a long-lasting eruption that could last for years. Now, if that happens, we could see a formation of a mountain similar to Skjaldbreiður here that was formed during that kind of an eruption around 9,000 years ago. That eruption made this beautiful 1,060 meter tall mountain. It was quite a bit larger, so we'd probably not get a 1 kilometer plus high mountain here on Reykjaneskai. But as of today, it seems to be easier for the magma to move horizontally rather than vertically, which means it's not going up at the moment. We can look at these images to see what Reykjaneskai is made up of, and if we look at the location of the magma dike, it sits under tuff, which is one of the stronger rocks in the area, so it's looking for a better way to get to the surface. The location of the magma dike is very unusual. There are no cracks in the area where it's located, making it harder for the magma to reach the surface. You can see the red lines on the map that indicate cracks. There are no cracks present in the area of the magma dike. Usually the magma dike comes up through these cracks, and it's much easier than digging through the ground. That's going to be it for today, guys. The video today was more of an explanation of the situation and some speculations. If you want a video where I go into more detail surrounding Reykjaneskai volcanic history and maybe answer some questions about the current volcanic situation, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.